Following announcement has been paid for by Strange Time Entertainment.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Somebody interrupted me. You want to make yourself known before I freaking get into what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Wifey in the building. Nah, but this episode, this installment of Strange Time Entertainment's one of Strange Time Entertainment's mini podcasts coming up. Yeah, I heard. I am better. What was that? Yeah, I heard I Digress yesterday. Now it is time for Strange Side of the Ring. Yes, I'm starting this shit late as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But we here, man. Can't not throw up the night 2 of the biggest. Not the biggest, the most stupendous 2-night event in podcast history. Yes, sir. Yesterday was night 1 of POD-A-MANIA, episode 40, the season premiere. It's so big, we gotta do 2 nights, man. 2 nights, but that is the format going forward. Y'all not only getting 1 podcast a week, y'all getting 2 of them. You're getting I Digress, where we talk about everything going on in the culture, going on in music, entertainment, just real life. Whatever the fuck going on. What's going on in your town, we will definitely be talking about that shit. Talking about everything on I Digress. That will be on Saturdays, and on Sundays, we will be right here talking about that good old wrestling talk. Strange Side of the Ring. Shout out my nigga U-Tick for the idea for that for the wrestling talk name. Because I was dead stuck. I already knew it was gonna be called I Digress for the culture, but I didn't know I was going to call the wrestling shit, but here we go. Strange Side of the Ring, man. We out here. First episode of it, but 41 episodes of the Strange Time Podcast in general. So this will still be considered Strange Time Podcast. I should have never died. That's what I started with. That's my shit. That's my name. But Strange Time Entertainment, under that umbrella, we got Strange Time Mix, Fantasy Hill Radio, and now 2 new podcasts, I Digress and Strange Side of the Ring, because a beautiful, beautiful person came up with the idea of splitting them both into 2 episodes, 2 shows. So we're focusing on the people that come for the culture and the people that come for wrestling. So we're not just all mashing them together and shit. So you know what I'm saying? It's easier that way. And it's easier on my co-hosts. If niggas can't make it for 1 episode, they always have a chance to come for the next one, and vice versa. You know what it is. I want to shout out the rest of the co-hosts, because of course a nigga here alone right now. Doing it dolly again, which I don't mind. So shout out to the guys, shout out to my nigga Cams, shout out to C-Ho, shout out to Guns in My Face, Rooski, Broski with the Moski. Shout out my nigga Rick Rude, a.k.a. Ric Flair, a.k.a. Ricky Morgan, a.k.a. Ricky. That one was weak. Hold on, good. Ricky! Hold on, let me see if they got that sound effect on here. As y'all know, if y'all was here yesterday, y'all joined me for the night 1 of POD-A-MANIA, which will be up on YouTube and all other platforms really soon. Just now it's different. I gotta edit 2 fucking episodes. I gotta edit 2 episodes of the podcast, so Niggas is on their shit. Niggas is about to, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I digress. Yeah, I guess this isn't a good soundboard. But like I said yesterday, I got a new little soundboard for all the sound effects and shit. But fuck all that. We didn't come here to talk about my fucking sound effects. We came here. So, oh yeah, shout out my nigga U-Tick. U-Tick! Mr. Vowel, Mr. A-E-I-O-U out here, this motherfucker. My nigga U-Tick. Nigga with one of the coolest names I ever heard. U-Tick. Wish you could have been here, brother, but you know what it is. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gotta work, but you will be here for the next one. That's a fact. But, yeah, man. Just getting in the fucking wrestling talk. Listen, last night, night 1 of Mania. It wasn't only night 1 of POD-A-MANIA, nigga. It was night 1 of WrestleMania. The start of WrestleMania weekend 2 was on Friday. Now, Friday was crazy. You had SmackDown, you had Ring of Honor, you had all types of events. GCW had a Joey Janela spring break going on. There's a lot of shit going on. But before we get into all that, let's get into night 1 of WrestleMania, nigga. WrestleMania 38, AT&T Stadium, Dallas. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy. Now, there's a lot of talks online about how night 1 wasn't going to be as good as night 2. Because if you just looking at the card, right, you just looking at the matches they had, you like, this shit's gonna be average. I'm guilty of thinking that too. I thought this was gonna be an average ass WrestleMania. But niggas end up delivering, and that's what y'all gotta realize about WWE. They fucking Raw and SmackDown may be ass sometimes, they weekly shows be ass, but nobody does pay-per-view like WWE. I'm not even gonna hold you, their pay-per-views hit. Can't remember a bad WrestleMania, honestly. We'll get into that later. I actually thought of a bad WrestleMania, but let's talk about night 1, WrestleMania 38. Let's go through the matches real quick. Kicking it off, we had the Usos taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and my son Rick Boogs. Making his WrestleMania debut. And as his first WrestleMania, my son had a little tragedy, unfortunately. Early on in the match, my guy got injured. Tore his ACL, if I'm not mistaken. Tore his shit. He tried to, because my guy, he's strong as hell. He tried to prove his strength, try to lift up both the Usos on his shoulders. Didn't work out. My son's legs just collapsed under him. Shit was kind of sad, bro. Because Shinsuke had to carry the rest of the match on his own. Nobody really knew Rick Boogs was injured or not, but you could tell. The way his leg went, you could tell. He's strong, but he couldn't take all that. But, WrestleMania, you try to do amazing shit, make WrestleMania moments, and, it cost my son a few months off his career, right when it was getting started. Usos retaining the SmackDown Tag Team titles, so get well soon, Rick Boogs. You don't want to see somebody go down like that, especially at WrestleMania. And that was actually one of the matches everybody thought was going to be trash, and I felt like that match would have been better if that injury didn't happen. Because for what it was, after Rick Boogs went down, the match actually was pretty good. It wasn't that bad. Shinsuke carried the match. It was dope. I liked it. But for the WWE Championship last year, against Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, to now facing the undefeated Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin, formerly known as Baron Corbin or Constable Corbin, whatever you want to call him. He went through a few gimmicks, but this Happy Corbin one seems to be the one. My guy fucking lost all his money, gambling and shit. So he was down bad at the beginning of the year, now he's up. Nigga went back gambling, he fucking hit big. Now my son Happy Corbin got money, chilling. You got my boy Madcap Moss. Shout out Madcap Moss, the winner of this year's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, so clap it up for him. Very unexpected, eliminated Finn Balor, United States champion. That's another story. I'll get into Finn Balor later. But yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, a match that we've seen millions of times. Wasn't trying to see that WrestleMania, but we saw it. And like I said, the story was Baron Corbin, Happy Corbin. He's been undefeated. Been undefeated for a few months now. Nah, no more. My son lost to Drew McIntyre in an okay match. It wasn't a bad one. If I was going to rate it, If we're doing that, we're doing the rating system right now. I'm rating all the matches from night one. Alright, so let me go back to Usos versus Shinsuke and Wade Boogs. I'm going to rate that match an honest 2.5. Like I said, for what it was, Rick Boogs get injured early on and shit. Unfortunate accident. The Usos and Shinsuke made it work. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that bad. But, fucking, yeah, I rate that 2.5. 2.5 stars for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, Drew McIntyre, Happy Corbin, like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't the best. So I'm going to rate that one. I'm going to give that a 3. I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a 3. You know why? Because I got a lot of respect for Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? As a guy, he could easily fucking play politics. Y'all niggas don't know what politics is when niggas is backstage fucking all in the boss's ear, trying to get a better position on the card and shit. Get booked in all the title matches and all the main events and all that shit. Drew McIntyre's been there for a while as a former WWE champion, has respect with the boss, the former chosen one. Vince McMahon's guy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he has some pull. Probably not as much pull as like a Cena or some shit like that, but he has pull to fucking. You're like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like the way that's looking. Let's do something else. You know what I'm saying? He never does that. He takes his shit and he fucking works with it and makes the best of it. So, and the shit is always gold. Even when my son was in 3MB, shit was gold. You know what I'm saying? Whatever fucking they put on him, he takes it and he fucking runs with it. So, even this stupid ass sword thing that he has going now, this nigga's carrying a sword all around. I get it. He's from Scotland and shit. He's supposed to be like some Braveheart character right now, but the whole few months him walking around with the sword, I'm like, if this nigga don't swing this shit at somebody and cut them with some shit, not to be graphic or morbid, it's like, nah, then you gotta do something with that sword, you walk around with it. And last night at Mania, he finally did. No, he didn't chop a nigga head off, but he acted like he was about to slice Madcap Moss in half like the ninja movies and shit, but Madcap Moss got out the way right in time. And his name fucking Drew McIntyre cut the top rope. Top rope, second rope, all the ropes. Cut all the rope. Nah, not the bottom rope. Just the two ropes at the top and shit. Cut them right in half. So that proved to us that the sword is indeed real. It was pretty dangerous. So mad respect for Drew McIntyre for carrying around that short ass fucking sword. Quick story. I remember one time this nigga, shout out my nigga Damien. This nigga Damien had a fucking, somebody gave him a katana. If y'all know what a katana is, it's like one of the sharpest fucking swords in the world. Literally. And he found out real quick. This nigga got the sword, he was playing around with the sword and shit. He just touched it, but just a little bit, just touched that shit. Cut his finger so bad, thing was leaking. I was like, damn, nigga, that shit sharp. So I didn't want to touch the sword at all. I wanted necks on the sword and shit, but I was like, nah, I'm good. Pause. That sounded crazy. Wanted necks on the sword and shit. Pause. But moving on, yeah, I rate that match a 3. You know, nothing crazy. Like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but yeah, I rated 3. Next match, we had another celebrity tag team match, right? WrestleMania, WWE, they love bringing in the celebrities. Since the inception of WrestleMania. WrestleMania 1, nigga. You had Cyndi Lauper. You had fucking Mr. T. You had Muhammad Ali refereeing the main event. All types of shit. There's always celebrities at WrestleMania. Just to name a few. Money Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Drew Carey, Pete Rose, who? Mark Wahlberg, but he was in the crowd. He never really got, like, after all the guys that, like, got active and shit, got in the ring.
Don't matter.
Snooki.
What?
Snooki got, yes, this goes back to, I'm going to talk about that later when I talk about the worst WrestleMania ever. Yes. Snooki had a match at WrestleMania. But, yeah, Snooki, Little Richard, he didn't wrestle, but he was in the ring. He was fucking, he sung the national anthem.
Wow.
Boyz II Men sung the national anthem. Who else wrestled at a WrestleMania? I said Floyd Mayweather. Who else? Oh, most recent one last year, Bad Bunny. And I gotta say, he was like the best one, honestly. My son did his thing. Bad Bunny. But, yeah, now this year, my son Miz, Last year, his tag team partner was John Morrison against Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. But this year, my son Miz saw how good of a job Bad Bunny did. He's like, I'm about to go get my own celebrity, nigga. That's exactly what he did. Got Logan Paul. Yes, the brother of Jake Paul. Logan Paul, the guy that fought fucking Floyd Money Mayweather at the top of the year. That Logan Paul. Was it the top of the year or was it last year? I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that shit was last summer, that's a fact. So I remember I made the cover for fucking, you made the cover for me on Pixar before I knew about Pixar and shit. How do you know? I remember that. Huh? But yeah. Fucking, my son Miz is like, let me get my own fucking celebrity. Got Logan Paul. It was him and Logan Paul against the Mysterio family. Rey Mysterio and his son Dominic. Still got questions about Dominic being Rey Mysterio's son because the last time we checked, Eddie Guerrero was Dominic's son. But that's a story for another time. R.I.P. Eddie Guerrero. Fucking, yeah, man. Shout out to Dominic and Rey. Speaking of Eddie Guerrero, quick little fucking, they did a whole nice little tribute to my guy Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero back in the day when he was in AAA, when he was freaking tag team with my guy Art Barr. RP Art Barr too, man. Eddie's first tag team partner. Eddie used to come out in the American flag fucking jacket, the American flag pants, all that shit was fire, like. And Dominic showing love to his real pops, Eddie Guerrero, wearing his fucking, oh hell no. Call me during the pod. We don't do that. That's why I put this shit on D&D. Boom. Anybody listen to this and you got my number, stop calling me during the pod. Alright? I'm ready fucking cutting it close with time. But like I said, yeah. Logan Paul and Miz versus fucking Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Another match that we all thought was going to be average, but it was actually pretty good. I ain't going to hold you. Logan Paul wasn't selling for fucking shit. If y'all don't know what selling is, it's when, alright, we all know wrestling is scripted. Alright, we know that by now. These guys, they're not really out there trying to hurt each other and all that. Alright, it's not UFC, it's not boxing, even though I got my opinions on UFC and boxing. I feel like that shit is rigged, but that's another story. We all know the story about wrestling. Now, selling. The artist, I'm breaking kayfabe right now, something that I vowed to not do on this pod anymore, but kayfabe, that's keeping the secret of wrestling, keeping the mystery of wrestling. It was always back in the 80s and the 70s when wrestling first came out. Nobody knew that this shit was fake. Everybody had their assumptions, but the wrestlers did such a good job on not exposing that secret that really nobody knew. Nobody knew shit until one guy, one day. If y'all know the interviewer Geraldo Rivera, do y'all know him? Do y'all remember him from back in the day? Geraldo at Large. Y'all remember that show? I remember it because I didn't have cable like that back in the day, so I was watching a lot of news as a kid. But Geraldo Rivera got an ex-wrestler to fucking come on there and expose the business, and that's exactly what this motherfucker did. He exposed it so bad, he even showed them how niggas bleed. He showed the secret on how niggas bleed. And if y'all don't know it by now, you know, get the little razor blade, put it under your wrist tape, and once it's time for you to bleed in a match, you feel me? Take out the little razor blade, do your thing. Some people put it under their wrist tape, some people put it on their finger. If you see niggas with their fingers taped, most likely there's a razor blade in there somewhere. Or some people do it old school like the hood and keep it in their cheek and shit. But the easiest way is to fucking keep it in your wrist. Right? He showed that on TV, on the news. Geraldo Rivera. And then Geraldo's like, oh my god, it's so sick. Yeah. You're not supposed to know this, motherfucker. Like I said, that's a story for another time. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, Logan Paul is not selling. Now, selling is when somebody does a move on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the move hurts, but you have to fucking show and express how bad the move hurts, because that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is telling a story with your body. You know what I'm saying? You're in that ring and you're telling a story with your body. So your facial expressions, the fucking way you fucking hold your head and some shit, anything is selling. All that is selling. So when you get hit, you get a fake hit and you don't fucking sell it. Like, you just stand there and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. It wasn't a real hit. So, you know what I'm saying? That's not selling. It's really not easy. It looks easy, and you probably sound easy. Like, oh, I can do that. Who doesn't? Who can't do that? Who can't fucking act like they got hit for fake? A lot of people can't. There's an art to that shit. There really is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Logan Paul wasn't selling hits. He wasn't selling slams. Nigga getting right back up. That's my only complaint about that match. A lot of people online are calling Logan Paul disrespectful as hell because my son went to the top rope and hit a frog splash on Rey Mysterio. Frog splash, but you know, that's Eddie's move. Eddie Guerrero, before he did it, nigga did the Eddie Guerrero little shimmy and shit. Like, so disrespectful. So disrespectful. A lot of people online are pissed off about that, but that's heat. That's heat. Heat. Once again, that's wrestling talk. Heat is when you're a bad guy, you know what I'm saying, you do whatever you gotta do to get the crowd to fucking just despise you. Like I said, it's an act. You know what I'm saying? It's an act. It's a play. It's a fucking dramatic fucking soap opera. You feel me? So you gotta do whatever you gotta do to get these motherfuckers to hate you. Because by now, everybody knows it's fake. Everybody. That's why a lot of people don't watch wrestling no more. Because like, oh, it's not as real as it was back in the day. But that shit wasn't real either, motherfucker. They just had more fucking tools and more shit to work with because they was at a time where Vince McMahon, he literally didn't know if he was going to have WWE tomorrow. Literally, seriously. This motherfucker was going at it with Eric Bischoff on WCW getting his ass whipped week to week in the ratings. You feel me? All this Peacock and WWE Network and all this shit that Vince got, all these stocks, it wasn't like that in the late 90s, the mid to late 90s. Hell no. The niggas was in the trenches every Monday trying to get up out of that. Trying to get them ratings up there. We was watching WCW because it was real over there. WWE, they over here got clowns and shit, got a garbage man, got all this extra shit. Over on WCW, they had the NWO. Motherfuckers pulling up. Black t-shirts, sunglasses, and jeans, beating up the wrestlers and shit. Like, so that's why we was watching Nitro. And Vince didn't know what the fuck to do. So what did Vince do? He created the Attitude Era. He created the Attitude Era. He was like, fuck this shit. Fight fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, everybody thought shit was real because WWE they made it like that, motherfucker. The storylines were more realistic. You had motherfuckers getting hung up on crosses and shit, and fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin drinking Budweisers in the middle of the ring. And, you know what I'm saying? You had shit like that. Undertaker wasn't acting as dead as he always does. Undertaker was acting like a real human being. This nigga was talking. Undertaker never talked. This nigga's talking and shit. Now we find out he got a brother that he fucking allegedly burned down in the funeral home that his parents died in. And it was crazy back in the 90s, nigga. That's what I'm saying. That's why y'all fuck with the 90s more than you do now. I'm a real wrestling fan. I just never stopped watching. And I can appreciate the shit that's going on now because I remember a time when nigga Vince McMahon really didn't know if he was going to have WWE. And I respect the fucking come up. I respect what he did. And I understand what he has to do now. There's a lot of kids watching WWE now. Just like we was little niggas watching. But the 90s was a different time. You had Jerry Springer over here. You had fucking titties, girls going wild over here on the commercial. You had this, you had that. Nelly swiping credit cards through asses. You had all types of shit during that time. It's not like that no more. Motherfuckers are very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of kids fucking watching. Oh, so you see in the crowds at WWE shows. Little niggas wearing John Cena shirts and shit. So that's who he's gearing himself towards now. That's why you see WWE characters in a Scooby-Doo mashup or some shit like that, or a Cartoon Network, because that's what it is now. Alright, we got the adults, now it's time to go get the kids back, because that's where the money's at. Honestly, little niggas gonna run into their moms and be like, yo, can you get me this, can you get me that, can you get me this, can you get me that, and they're gonna do it. Us adults, we don't really buy shit like that. Well, I do. I buy fucking merchandise all the time, but other people, normal people ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So WWE's going to, you know, but that's, like I said, that's another story from another time. I'm talking about selling and I'm getting into fucking breaking down WWE. But yeah, back to the WrestleMania card. I'm going to give that match. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't as good as like Bad Bunny last year. Loved his performance. But what made the match and what made me give it a rating as high as I'm going to give it is afterwards. Now, the rating that I'm giving this Logan Paul and Miz versus the Mysterios, I'm giving that 3.5. 3.5. Yes, I'm rating it higher than Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. Why am I doing that? Because after the match, Logan Paul, Miz celebrating. Classic Miz. What do you think he does? Hits my son with the skull-crushing finale. Turn his back on Logan Paul. God damn, gotta love the Miz, because Logan Paul's getting booed out of the building. Nobody really wanted to see Logan Paul at Mania. He didn't do a bad job. Yeah, he could have sold more, but he didn't do a bad job. Nobody really wanted to see that. That spot was deserved for freaking somebody more deserving, like the New Day. And I'm about to get into that after this. But yeah, Miz turned on Logan Paul. It was a dope moment. Crowd went crazy. I popped a little bit, but that was cool. So yeah, 3.5. But that spot that Logan Paul had should have went to a fucking New Day. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Yo, what do y'all say? Oh, for DJ Strange. DJ Strange, they were on WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods was supposed to fight Sheamus and fucking whatever that fucking, I don't even know this nigga's name. What's this nigga name? Nigga that fucking injured Big E. I forgot his name. Nigga broke my son Big E's neck. Dumped him right on his head. I don't think I talked about it last time I was here, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, whoever Sheamus' partner was, being accompanied by my son Pete Dunne, who they changed his main roster. Please stop changing my guys' names. Alright? You did it to Killer Cross. Changed his name to Karrion Cross. You tried to do it to Keith Lee. Gonna name him fucking Bearcat, fucking Lee, whatever the fuck. Stop with these gimmicky names. I defend y'all niggas, but then y'all do shit like that. Change my son Pete Dunne's name to Butch. Pete Dunne, one of the longest reigning NXT United Kingdom champions of all time. And y'all do that to him? Move him up, wait for this nigga to get to the main roster. Nah, let me rephrase that. I did not want him to go to the main roster because I knew some bullshit like this was going to happen. Slap a gimmick on him, change his name. Now all that respect and credibility that he had as Pete Dunne is just kind of washed away, unless it's like real wrestling fans like me is going to keep that shit alive. Butch. Pete Dunne's another pro. Like I said, with Drew McIntyre, whatever you throw at him, he's going to fucking make it lit. Because this Butch character, he's actually doing pretty good. But no, we don't want to see that. But yeah, that spot was more deserved for niggas like that. They were supposed to wrestle at WrestleMania, but their match got cut early because a lot of matches on fucking night one went too long. Too long. And that's my problem with having that many fucking matches on WrestleMania to begin with. Back in the day, nigga, WrestleMania was only like 8, 9 matches, 10 matches at best. One WrestleMania where it had the most fucking matches was WrestleMania 17. Where that had like, what, 12, 13? All this 20 matches, that's why they split the motherfucker up into 2 days. Trying to just get everybody on the card. But if you got motherfuckers that's going over the time, I get it. Y'all having a fucking classic. Y'all having a good-ass match like this next match I'm about to get into. Y'all having a good-ass match. And y'all trying to get all y'all spots in because if y'all miss any spot and y'all don't spots, different parts of the match where they do a cool-ass move or some shit, basically. Y'all sitting trying to get all your spots in, like this next match I'm about to talk about. You're fucking cutting away from somebody else's time. It happened to the fucking, the women at WrestleMania 29. It was supposed to be like a fucking 6-man tag, 8-woman tag, 10-woman tag, whatever the fuck. It was like the Funkadactyls and Natalia, all them women at the time. Basically all the fucking Total Diva women. You know, the reality show Total Divas, the Bellas was in there and shit. Their match got cut at WrestleMania 29 because fucking Brock Lesnar and Triple H just went too long, bro. And it happened. Because you want to get all your shit in. You know what I'm saying? But my thing with that is like, be mindful of the people that's going on after you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a wrestler. I'm not in business. I don't know. But just like seeing shit like that, seeing my guys in New Day get their fucking match cut, I didn't really fuck with that. Sheamus my guy too, and Pete Dunne, he would have been there. So that other nigga though, I can't even think of his name right now. Whatever the fuck his name is, that broke Big E's neck. I don't really care for him. He's getting a lot of hate right now. You know, and I talked about it before. It's not all his fault. Big E should have had a little more rotation on that belly to belly, but like I said, that's a story for another time. We'll talk about that next episode. But yeah, like I said, this next match that I was about to get into that went overtime, that I think is the reason why that tag match got cut with the New Day, Sheamus and what the fuck his name is Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, y'all remember Becky Lynch came back at SummerSlam of last summer and just fucking ran through fucking Bianca Belair in fucking 5 seconds. Hit her with a forearm, hit her with her fucking finisher. And things was hurt. It's like, damn, Bianca had this great ass moment at WrestleMania from that year, defeating Sasha in the first ever all black fucking main event, all black female main event at that too. Did all that, huh? Oh, this? Oh, yeah. But yeah, fucking did all that. Had a great run too. Ran through like everybody they put in front of her. Then at SummerSlam, she's supposed to have the rematch with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks couldn't make it. I don't really think they even explained that really. Still, to this day, why wasn't Sasha Banks in that match? Probably set up Becky. Becky returns. The man returns. Everybody's happy. Everybody thinks, oh shit, Becky, she's here. Because Becky, when she left, she was a good guy. She left to go have her kid. She dropped the title to go have her baby. Her and Seth Rollins. Congratulations to them again. Left, but we all knew once Becky came back, she was going to get her spot right back. Like, it was going to put her right back into that spot. We all knew that. But the way they did it is what niggas don't agree with. Niggas don't agree with that. Right? Now, at that time, Becky came back and snatched the SmackDown Women's Championship off Bianca. She was SmackDown Women's Champion for a while, right? Now, she got drafted to Raw. So her and Charlotte did the title exchange bullshit. Then they had their matches Survivor Series. You know, all that jazz. We talked about that already. So now, fast forward to here. Bianca Belair gets her shot at the Raw Women's Championship, and boom, here we go. Here we go. I think it should have been Bianca versus fucking Ronda. No, I'm sorry. Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey at Mania, because that story, that they were supposed to fight a Survivor Series that year when Becky got nose broke and she was leaking. That's when she became the man and everybody started fucking with Becky. The whole character changed in one night. That's when they should have capitalized on that, because Becky was originally supposed to fight Ronda at that time, because she was SmackDown Women's Champ. Ronda was Raw Women's Champ. You know, Survivor Series, dude champ versus champion. But then Becky got hurt, and that match never happened. So you would have thought that we would have got that this year after fucking Ronda won the Royal Rumble, but no. They had different plans. But I guess the Becky and Bianca story did have to be told, and why not tell it at WrestleMania? So I guess that was pretty cool. And it was a good match. The way it happened, it was pretty dope. Becky sporting a new haircut, because if y'all remember, on Raw the other night, Bianca cut Becky's hair because Becky was about to cut her hair. You know, the famous braid that Bianca got. That's like Bianca's thing. Don't touch my hair. She go crazy if you touch her hair. She go wild. Which is dope. I like that. I like that character. First character to have, you know what I'm saying, that's actually like geared towards the culture. I think that's pretty dope. I like how WWE's doing that now. And I like how they fucking putting it right to the top, bro. Bianca Belair, once again, winning the Raw Women's Championship after last year winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. So she is basically a Women's Grand Slam champ. No, not yet. Not yet. She has to win that the women's tag team titles in order to be a fucking Grand Slam champ. But no, she's a Triple Crown champ, right? No, you still have to win those tag team titles in order to be considered a Triple Crown thing. But yeah, she's on her way. I do not see her not getting there within a year. For real. Because just last year, she fucking won the SmackDown's title, main event in Mania. Now this year is, so it's dope. And shout out to Becky, man. Shout out to Becky. Great match. Great match. Becky's been a great heel since she's came back, so you gotta love it. You can't have a dope hero without having an equally dope villain. So shout out to Becky. Applause to those women. The women been tearing it up, man. I ain't gonna hold you. Their storylines have been more compelling than the men. Something that I didn't think we'll see, and that's not being sexist. That's just the history of women's wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. If I was I'm gonna rate that match. I'm gonna give that one 3.5 stars. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Oh, whoa! Why you booing me? Don't boo me. Let me tell you why. Nigga, in order for a match to be 5 stars, right? Now, I'm not Dave Meltz out here to only give like the fucking independent shows, the 5-star ratings. That's not me. I'm a fair rater. I am. I'm a fair rater. I've been watching a lot of wrestling all my life, so I know what a good match is and what's a bad match, right? If you're gonna get 5 stars, you need to be on some, like, let me just give you a few examples. CM Punk versus John Cena. Monday Night Raw. The Raw before fucking WrestleMania 29. That's a 5-star match. Rick Rude's favorite match also. Not Rick Rude the wrestler. Rick Rude the podcaster, my co-host. His favorite match of, like, the new era, honestly. What else? Shawn Michaels Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. 5-star match. Undertaker versus Triple H from WrestleMania, what WrestleMania was that? WrestleMania 27. The WrestleMania that I consider the worst WrestleMania in history. Like I said, we're going to get into that later. That was a 5-star match. What else? There's a lot of fun. We're going to get into the women of 5-star matches. Fucking Sasha Banks versus Bayley from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. That was a 5-star match. You feel me? There's a lot to fucking be considered a 5-star match. These are the qualifications. To be considered 5-star, gotta have the crowd. Crowd involvement is important. I'm talking about, like, not being like, hey, put your hands in the air, wave like just no. I'm not talking about that. Crowd participation is the crowd into the match. Are they dead? No. These motherfuckers are on their feet the whole time. They cheering. This is awesome. Holy shit! It's all over the place. All that, right? The commentary needs to fit. A lot of matches be lacking because the commentators are just not that into it. Shout out to my nigga Mar Ranello. Shout out to JR and shit. And shout out to Michael Cole, because Michael Cole definitely got better. Corey Graves. But yeah, sometimes the commentary is not into the match, so that has to match up. Fucking, the setting. The setting has to match. I'm not saying all these 5-star matches have to happen at WrestleMania, but it has to, like, the environment has to be right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna... A match at fucking Hell in a Cell is not going to be considered 5-star to me. Just because it's Hell in a Cell. That match had to be really fucking good in order for that to happen, but I digress. Yeah, man, there's a few qualifications. What else? Fucking, listen, there's a lot of things for me to consider a 5-star match. Psychology. Was I emotionally invested in the match? Could I not take my eyes off the match? You know what I'm saying? The near falls and the false finishes. You know, 1, 2, nigga kick out right at the fucking, right before fucking the referee hits 3. All that shit matters to me. Even a nigga attire. If the nigga's clothes ain't right in the match, it's not gonna be 5-star. Every little piece, everything has to be perfect to be considered 5-star here, right? It's really hard to get that 5-star rating, but I'm not gonna hold you. This next match came pretty close. So yeah, Bianca, Becky for the Raw Women's title. 3.5, bro. Not even 4, right? That next match, the match that we've all been waiting for. The match that we couldn't wait for fucking night 1. Yes, sir. Seth Rollins. He did not have a match for WrestleMania for weeks. My son didn't know if he was going to be on the card, which was hard to believe because my son Seth had like the best year. The best year out of anybody. Had probably one of Roman's best fucking feuds of the year. Roman Reigns, the longest reigning Universal Champion. One of Roman's best feuds of the year. To fucking cap it off with a great match at fucking Royal Rumble. Edge's best feud since Edge has been back. Had a trilogy of dope matches. Capping it off with a dope-ass Hell in a Cell match at Saudi Arabia. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches we've seen of this new generation. That fucking red monstrosity. Killing it with his character. Left the fucking Monday Night Messiah fucking thing. And now he's fucking, you know what I'm saying, all fucking like a fucking happy-ass pastor and shit. Just jumping around. You know what I'm saying? Flashy-ass suits and shit. So, this new Seth Rollins, like, Seth had the best year. He had the best year out of everybody. So, you got to shout out. So, it was hard for me to believe that he was going to have a match at Mania. And, boy, I think he had the biggest match at Mania. Because his opponent was a hand-chosen superstar by Vince McMahon. Seth didn't know who his opponent was until he got in the ring. That's been the story. So for weeks, you know, nowadays, the internet, nothing's a fucking surprise no more. I can't remember the last time I was genuinely surprised when somebody showed up because, you know, the internet always got spoiled shit, or we always got our rumors and we always got our fucking, you You know what I'm saying? Our conspiracy theories and guessing on who it could be. Well, the internet knew who the fuck it was going to be weeks before it happened. And I was surprised WWE didn't change it because of how many people actually predicted who it was going to be. This motherfucker, for weeks, we've been saying Cody Rhodes has signed with WWE. Cody Rhodes, yes. The nigga that left WWE 6 years ago to see if he could do it on his own. To see if he could fucking be somebody better than his characters in WWE. Stardust and Dashing Cody Rhodes. And don't get me wrong, I love those gimmicks. But being a wrestler has to play those gimmicks, knowing what you can do, knowing the abilities you have, knowing you don't need to have makeup on in order to put on a great match or to fucking get people behind you. You're going to want to fucking see if you can do it on your own. And that's what Cody did. Nigga left, went to the Indies, became Ring of Honor World Champion, fucking wrestled in PWG's fucking most prestigious tournament in wrestling, the fucking Battle of Los Angeles. Motherfucker joined the Bullet Club. Motherfucker turned on Jay Lethal, which I was there live for. Shout out to Pat. Fuck it, what else he do? Motherfucker, the biggest thing. Put his money together with Tony Khan and the Young Bucks and started All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling, yes, AEW. Cody Rhodes has parts in that, bro. Well, not that much parts. And he was saying that over years. He would say that, yes, I have stakes in this, but not that much. Because I'm still a wrestler. I'm still a contracted wrestler under AEW. Which I respect, because he didn't want niggas to think that, oh yeah, now that I got money in this shit, I'm just going to fucking put the world title on. I said, no, that's why I respect Cody. Because he wants to earn it. He wants to earn it. And I think that's plays a big part in why he left AEW. He wanted to prove that he could fucking do it. He wanted to prove, I'm going to tell you the real reason why he left AEW, but this is just one of my theories of another reason why he left. Because he wanted to prove to himself that he could fucking do it in like, so if he was to win the world title at AEW, first thing everybody going to say, oh, of course he did because this nigga got money in the motherfucker, right? No. And he fucking had a lot of fucking creative control. But no, he didn't do it that way. He go on to WWE to prove to y'all, because you know WWE, you got to earn that shit. You got to earn that shit. No, you don't got to really whoop your fucking opponent's ass in order to be WWE champion. It's not like that. But you got to really impress the fucking higher-ups in WWE. You got to fucking show that, hey, look at me. I could do this, I could do that. I could go here on the fucking red carpet and smile and take pictures and represent the company right. And that's what Cody proved that he could do while he was away from WWE. My son got a reality show and shit with his wife. Nice little reality show. This nigga fucking popping up in little movies and shit. Popping up on Arrow with Steve Amell and all this extra shit. Like, and not only that, he's putting on great matches at AEW. Put on great promos at AEW. Great storylines. Some of his best was fucking ones with MJF. His matches with MJF were amazing. Chris Jericho. Fucking, who else? Andrade. Great fucking street fight they had before he went out. My son went through a flaming table. My son tag team with Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal. Something WWE couldn't do for years. Get a fucking deal with Shaquille O'Neal to wrestle. Cody Rhodes did, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's shit like that. Why? Because Cody Rhodes is on the fucking reality show with Shaq. He sits right next to him on that little stupid-ass competition show they had. You know what I'm saying? WWE recognizes shit like that. So not only is Cody a better wrestler, and fucking he always been a good wrestler, but now he's older and now he's wiser and he knows more. So not only that, this nigga has connections, nigga? He has connections? Oh, you was tag team with Shaq and shit? Okay, you got the little reality show? Oh, the numbers is great on the reality show? So WWE sees that, so they're like, listen, Cody, we'll give your ass whatever you want. You got this stupid-ass tattoo on your neck, but we still want you, bro. So what's up? So Cody made the wise decision. Cody is not just a wrestler out here anymore, fighting for pride and fighting for that fake acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? No, he's not doing that. My son's got thinking of the bigger picture. This nigga has a wife and kids. And he has a black wife. If I know anything about black women, oh man, they ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Cody doesn't want to go through that. He doesn't want to go through that, all the drama of being stressed and not knowing what to do just because he wants to be a good wrestler. He wants respect from us. That shit ain't gonna get your bills paid. Yeah, it might sell a few t-shirts, but it ain't doing much. But going to WWE and really working out a deal with them, getting the best deal for you possible is the best fucking option, honestly, because they paying the big bucks. They're paying the big bucks. And if you a fucking top tier superstar in WWE, you know they take care of you. They give you a fucking tour bus, private plane. Just go ask John Cena and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and them niggas. And I feel like Cody, him coming back, he feels like he can get to that level. Which he can. I heard the contract again is outstanding. Outstanding with a lot of perks and shit, so. Let me tell you something. So basically, yeah. Cody came back, he used a surprise fucking wrestler to go up against Seth Rollins, right? Great match. If I was to rate it, that match is going to get 4.5 stars. Yeah, it didn't get the 5. It didn't get the 5. I'm going to tell you this right now. None of the matches on. Well, okay. I'm speaking too soon. Speak too soon. Somebody cracked the 5. Somebody cracked the 5. I'm not going to tell you yet. But yeah. My son Cody, man. 4.5 stars. Him and Seth Rollins had a classic. They had a classic. Had an instant classic. You know WWE 2K with the rating system? You get that instant classic. It's that fucking 4.5 stars. You almost cracked the 5, but you didn't? Yeah, that's this match. It was great. It was great, but it doesn't get the 5 star. So yeah, shout out Cody. Glad you're back, bruh. Where it all started, where it should end. He said the reason he came back is because he wants to prove that he could win the WWE Championship, something that his father couldn't do in WWE, and that's win the WWE Championship. You know, Dusty Rhodes, former NWA World Champion all over the place, but never won the fucking WWE title, and that's considered the biggest title in the wrestling world. So, pulling for you, Cody. I hope you go get that, man. Really do. So yeah, 4.5 stars for that one. Next match, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, Royal Rumble winner, 2022. Yeah, big head. Of 2022. Royal Rumble winner Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Women's Champion. My girl Charlotte. I was pulling for Charlotte, man. I really was, and guess what? Charlotte won. Very surprising, actually. I didn't think that was going to happen. Now, before I get into the rating, I just want to give you some little backstage, because you know my sources is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't got to work in WWE or be involved in the business, but I got the sources. Real nigga never reveals his sources, and I'm not going to do that. Because I got connections too. Alright, Cody ain't the only one with connections. I got numbers. Niggas hit me up that was at WrestleMania, and they said, yo, Ronda was tight. Ronda was tight. So tight that the other night at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, yes, the night that Undertaker finally got inducted to the Hall of Fame, Steiner Brothers, Vader, shout out to my nigga Shad Gaspard, got the Warrior Award, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? Ronda Rousey thought it would be a good idea to walk out. She walked out of the fucking Hall of Fame before they could even give Taker his ring. Why? Why did they do it? Why did she do that? Because she was mad. She was told that night that her and Charlotte would not be main event in Mania. What? Ronda Rousey, I talked about it yesterday on the fucking Culture Talk because it's like something that had to be said, bro. You need to really fucking stop taking your shit so serious, bro. Stop taking yourself so serious. This is not the UFC. This is not fucking the Olympics and you fucking going for the gold medal. It's none of that shit that you've done. This is WWE. Sports entertainment. You feel me? You can't get mad because you're not in the main event. You're not deserving of the main event of night one. You're not. Who's deserving of the main event of night one? This next fucking match that I'm about to talk about. Before I get into that, I just had to get a drop on what Ronda Rousey. She was pissed off. It was a good match. You wouldn't even know Ronda was mad. Honestly, she came out with a smile on her face, so at least she's getting her acting shit together. But it's like, bruh, the disrespect. The disrespect. Walking out on Undertaker Hall of Fame. Bitch, this is not UFC. You don't got the pull that you think. And that's why when she first got there, bitches wasn't feeling her. Because they already know what her attitude's like. Ronda got a bad attitude. We know this. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta let that shit go once you get WWE. That ego shit. You know? But I digress. Ronda and Charlotte, SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte defeated fucking Ronda. She cheated. She did. I'm not gonna hold you. Referee Charles Robinson. You know what I'm saying? He was helping up Ronda Rousey. He caught a nice swift boot right to the face by Charlotte. Was it intentional or was it unintentional? Good question. You never know for Charlotte, the fucking daughter of the dirtiest player in the game. Ric Flair, whoop. You know? You never know. Charlotte picked up a few tricks from her pops. So yeah, man. Kicked the shit out Lil Nate, Charles Robinson. Kicked the shit out of him. Ronda Rousey, she thought she was about to fucking come up and shit. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. Sorry, guys. Rewind that. I got that wrong. She didn't kick Charles. She didn't kick fucking Charles Robinson. Nah. Referee got knocked out with a spear from fucking Charlotte by accident. She was going for fucking Ronda. Ronda hit Charlotte with her fucking finisher. What the fuck that shit called? She had it pinned 1, 2, 3, 4, count to 10. Referee's out cold, so we don't see it. Ronda sees this. She gets up, try to get the referee up. Charlotte gets her ass up. Boom, kick to fucking Ronda's face as soon as she gets the referee up. 1, 2, 3. Night night. Still SmackDown Women's Champion, my girl Charlotte. Yes, sir. Thank you, God. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't want to see Ronda fucking win because after hearing that shit about the Hall of Fame and her walking out and taking, disrespectful, bro. You don't deserve no title. You don't deserve shit. And that was probably now that I'm sitting here talking about this shit. Now I'm thinking about it. That was probably her punishment for that. That was probably her punishment. Walking out on Taker's Hall of Fame Taker, the fucking biggest fucking wrestler in the history of wrestling. Period. You gonna walk out? Nah. You was probably gonna win, but nah, not no more. Charlotte retains, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. Good call, WWE. Good call. So yeah, she's mad she wasn't the main event because, bitch, who's going on in the main event? The KO show with Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out of retirement, nigga. Stone Cold, Kevin Owens called out Stone Cold to meet him at Mania, and Stone Cold did. Here Stone Cold is. Wrist tape, jean shorts, knee braces on, wrestling boots tied, ready to go. Crowd's going crazy. We already know Stone Cold gonna wrestle, but we don't know yet. So him and Kevin Owens, they got a little back and forth, insulting each other and shit. Stone Cold cursing up a storm. This nigga fucking Kevin Owens like, listen, man, I lied. I didn't call you here to talk, nigga. I called you here to fight. That's why I called you out, so here we go. No disqualification, no holds barred, Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. Stone Cold coming out of retirement. Coming out of retirement after fucking, I forgot how many years, like 19 years, some shit like that. Last match was The Rock. WrestleMania 19. Last match. Now this is official last match against Kevin fucking Owens. I thought this match was going to go like 5 minutes real quick, some quick shit. Nah, nigga. This match went for literally 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes. Great little close of WrestleMania. Great little no disqualification match. Kevin Owens is, if you come trying to come out of retirement, you want somebody that's going to make you look good in that ring, you better fucking wrestle Kevin Owens. Because Kevin Owens made Stone Cold look like it was the 90s again. Let me tell you something about wrestling. It's a dance, bruh. You're only as good as your dancing partner. Literally. So Kevin Owens selling and bumping all over the place and doing all this shit for fucking Stone Cold. Shout out to him. Made Stone Cold look like $1 million, like he ain't miss a beat. Stone Cold doing suplexes on the stage and all this extra shit. There's a lot of fun moments in that match. I freaking recommend you guys go check it out. Stone Cold Kevin Owens from night 1 to close the show. If I was giving that a rating, I almost said there was going to be no 5-star ratings on night 1, but I lied. Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, they get the 5-star rating. Yes, they do. Shout out Kevin Owens, shout out Stone Cold, man. It's great. It's great. Now, I expected to talk about everything else from this WrestleMania weekend, but I really don't want to go over time too much because it is now 8:03 here in the fucking podcast universe, and that means WrestleMania is on. And it's night 2 of WrestleMania. The big night. Big night. Just real quick before I get off of here, let me just tell you about the card for night 2. We got Bobby Lashley returning from injury to face the big ass, tall African motherfucking Amos. Amos and Bobby Lashley. 2 titans are about to clash. It's gonna be a good one. We got my son Pat McAfee, SmackDown fucking announcer, former fucking punter for the Indianapolis Colts. Fucking finally getting to fucking experience his dream of wrestling in WWE. Wrestling? On WrestleMania, no less. Wrestling Man was like, you can have a fucking match and you're going to face my hand-picked opponent, my protege, Austin Theory. Austin Theory making his WrestleMania debut. Big shit. Big, big shit. Actually, he debuted at WrestleMania, during the pandemic WrestleMania in the Thunderdome with no fans and shit. But I don't really count that one. So this is his first real WrestleMania. It's gonna be big. RK Bro defending the Raw Tag Team titles against Street Profits and the Alpha Academy. Johnny Knoxville is gonna face Sami Zayn. No disqualification, anything goes. The women's tag team titles are on the line. We got Queen Zelina and Carmella defending against Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Sasha Banks, and Naomi. Return the Team Bad. I'm pulling for them. I ain't gonna hold you. And Natalia and Shayna Baszler. So that should be good. But yeah, I'm pulling for Sasha and Naomi. They definitely gonna take those titles home. Dream match: Edge versus AJ Styles. Edge turned heel on AJ. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. I got AJ on that one. Hopefully he wins. In the main event, the biggest match in WrestleMania history, allegedly. Winner takes all. Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion, versus Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, the longest reigning Universal Champion. Sorry, guys. Roman going to win that. Roman's taking that home. Sorry. Anybody thought otherwise. They're not having Roman lose that. Roman literally held the Universal title for longer than anybody. It's been like 400 something, going on 500, so that's big shit. So yeah, man, night 2 is going to be big. I want to go watch it. Before I close this, let me just say, shout out to AEW, shout out to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe making his AEW debut this Wednesday on Dynamite because he showed up on fucking Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. I wanted to talk about that. There's a lot of shit that went on. Fucking Young Bucks challenging the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions this Wednesday, also on Dynamite. New Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, FTR, defeating the Briscoes. Good ass match. 5 stars all over the place. Yeah, man. Big weekend. We'll talk more about it though on the next episode of Strange Side of the Ring, brought to you by Strange Time Entertainment. This has been night 2 of POD-A-MANIA. I love y'all niggas. Appreciate y'all for joining me. But we gotta go because WrestleMania is on and I want to go watch that. So yeah, man. DJ Strange, Strange Side of the Ring. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the co-host. See y'all next Saturday for I Digress. And next Sunday for another episode of Strange Side of the Ring. This is episode 41. See y'all niggas later.